Another beautiful day, guys. So I want to take this opportunity to talk to her again. Um, guys, I saw a video today, and that video really disturbed me. But with my mindset and the way that I think, I relate everything to, especially giving in the African context, right? What is happening in Africa, the level of corruption, where don't lead to so much poverty. Guys, bear with me. I think that my sprinkler system is going off now, so but I just got home. Been a beautiful day again. Sun is shining, summertime, right? We were in this part of the world. We understand what it means to have summer, right? Because in the next 2 months or so, we begin I back on money going inside house, But I saw this video, so I want to share with you guys, and I think I have enough folks here now for me to go ahead and get this live going here. But I saw this video. I want to talk to you guys about it. And again, this goes, like I said again, it's about, what corruption has done to Africa, how corruption has destroyed the African continent. Corruption is everywhere, right? But we know, say, when it comes to the African case, it is a completely different scenario, right? We know these folks as leaders in Africa, they have no empathy. They're not accountable for their actions. So they care less. As long as they can throw some breadcrumbs to the people, that's all that really matters. We see our healthcare condition, we see our road conditions, we see our educational conditions, the standards and everything. We just see day-to-day life, right? It's just miserable for a lot of Africans, and Sierra Leone is not an exception. So, I saw this video, and it takes me back. It takes my mind back, and I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about this. And it's something that I've been very passionate about for quite a while anyways, to talk about. And which some of you guys would say, Ibrahim, this is not really what Ibrahim normally talks about. But like I said again, everything that affects us has a political connotation to it. Because like I always say, if you don't do politics will do you. And that is the world we're living in. Because everything we do, we're all political animals. Everything we do in life is surrounded around politics. And that is why you have to get involved. So every little thing you do, until every Sierra Leonean start to think that way, that your little actions goes a long way as far as affecting our politics. Don't be blinded by your political party. Don't be blinded by tribe. Don't be blinded by regional politics. Don't be blinded by your own loyalty to somebody else, whoever that person is. Don't be blinded with all of that stuff. I want you guys to have a mindset where everything you think about is nationalistically. Okay, say this thing is not affecting me now, but how is it affecting somebody else? That's what I want you guys to think about. So again, corruption is what is killing Africa to a point where, we see how the continent is today. We see sick kids every day. We see the deplorable lives of people. Citizens are suffering, guys. And we have a moral responsibility to change that, and we're going to change it. And so this gives me the reason why I come here and talk to you guys, because sometimes again, you don't want to sit with all of this and just don't pour it out there. So like I was saying earlier, the video that I saw, it had to do with a young lady did a small, a video, these short videos on YouTube, right? And I saw this video, and this lady is going around asking other ladies, asking other girls, asking small young picking them, from, maybe 1920s up to some woman they were in their 40s. She's asking a simple question. With that question we ask them, it say, if you got a choice between a man who is rich, but he cheats on you, and a man, a regular man, we're going to be loyal to you, which one would you choose? So they had a choice to pick between a man where gently we get money and we go cheat on them. That's a choice. Or a man, regular man, get things going, live a regular normal life, stay loyal to you, man. All the girl that we ask, and this is not representative of all the women out there. There are lots of fantastic, good women. I mean, I have one in my house. My wife is a classic example. Even Teto Mama, these are people that I can vouch for, right? That I know. But there are lots of good women out there, I'm sure. But I'm telling you, it's a percentage of the world is affected. And when it comes to Africa, I'm not even going to talk about America. This is the mindset that a lot of women didn't get. And this is a lot of mindset. This is a mindset that a lot of girls and women have in Africa today. Why? Extreme poverty, right? When it has come to the world we live in now today, women, basically the only commodity they have, a lot of them, not all, because you have a lot of brilliant women who go school, and they get a job, then decide to say, I'm not going to let my body be my price, right? But you had a lot of other women, them where it's not by their choice sometimes too, because, a lot of these ladies, some of them, of course, like that upline, them born them boku, so they not get access to education, right? So you're going to blame them for everything. But it gets to a point where you have to take responsibility for your actions, right? So, because again, we get women that we don't go school, them born them boku, but they're not into this kind of a life of prostitution and all that stuff. They do business, the other day I told you guys I spoke with a lady who does business, never been to school, but she does a business, goes to Dubai and this and that, living a very honorable life. So there are lots of women, in Sierra Leone and, across Africa, in the world and, that are living honorable lives, right? But you get a percentage. And those ones are the ones people tend to see these days because we live in a society where moral values are gone. But again, I'm going to base this off of bad politics over the years in Africa. And the reason is this. Let me add this caveats to that. Even in America, we see young women there, young ladies, young girls, even in this part of the world, to find ourselves where they have all kinds of opportunities. You want to go to school, you can get a loan and go to school and learn. And you want to learn a trade, you can go and learn a trade. You would have a job. There are job opportunities. But we see a lot of girls that are into that kind of life, chasing men because of money. It is happening. So their own case, it's different. But in Africa and Sierra Leone, I'm not going to use this as an excuse for a lot of our sisters, but it's the system, the endemic corruption. It has destroyed the system so bad that there are no opportunities a lot of times for our sisters to be able to survive. But that is not an excuse either for them to engage in prostitution or for be one of their women in their way. You go ask this question, say, you have a choice to pick a good man who you go for live a regular life with, and not go cheat on you, or you get man who get money, but go cheat on you. And you know the answers that they gave? Guys, it's shocking. The answers they gave, they'll tell you the excuse that they made up for those answers is that, well, I better like go cry in a hotel room in Dubai. It's better for me to cry in an hotel room in Dubai, in a hotel room in Dubai, than be crying in a single bedroom apartment. It's better for me to cry in a Mercedes Benz than to be crying in a motorbike, Okada. So, it goes to, if women are ready, are willing to get to those points in their lives where they don't believe in themselves so much that they believe so they forget man we got money, but like cheat on it no matter. They don't even think about the consequences of that, right? Cheating around, sleeping around with all these women, because men that have money have a lot of options, right? So they can get to all kind of women where they want. Because again, most of these girls, they are out there, all they're looking for is money. You drive fine motor car and say, okay, this one, they live a regular normal life. That's all they want. That's all they're chasing these days, right? The other day I talked about girls not wanting to build again, from, build with a young man, build with somebody who's a carpenter, who's a masoner, who's a mechanic. These girls know those things don't appeal to them anymore in society. Everybody's chasing, gimme, gimme, gimme. But again, I go back to say in Africa, what we have, the problem is, again, it's not an excuse, right? If you're just joining me to say because of the lack of opportunities, but a lot of our sisters, and it's just that they don't have any other opportunities to make a living for themselves. Some of them could get out of these lives that they are living. They have a choice to get out of it, because you cannot be doing the same thing for 10, 20 years. You complain, say it's because of I was born with, in the village, I had no opportunities of going to school and this and that, but you've been doing prostitution for 10 years. Then what's the point, right? Sometimes they say desperate measures, call for desperate acts. So we get that sometimes people do certain things just to get themselves out of a quagmire. It's still not an excuse to do that. But I know in Africa, the reason why we have so much problems and confusion today, especially like you take a Sierra Leone case scenario where there is so much, dishonesty and disloyalty in relationships. Relationships are getting broken apart, getting destroyed because, again, women look for the easy way out. The man who can pack big motorcar, we get one government job with a thief. We're not even the hand a genuine living. But to them, he get big motorcar, he get some job somewhere, he's getting money, they can't give them money. They would left them, marry those them, they would leave their husbands, who said they don't born picking them. Instead of them dating, using, let we build this together. Because again, when you get married, they say for better or for worse, right? In sickness or in death, in sickness or in good health, until death do us part. That is the whole way they take, for better or for worse, in sickness or in good health, till death do us part, right? So you look for blessing for the picking them. Those days are all gone now in our society that we're living in today. Few women them maintain that value, but a lot of homes are scattered today, waiting because of endemic corruption. And this is why I say every one of us, we have a responsibility to get involved in our politics. Again, this is all part of my civic education drive, right? But society is getting, bamboozled with, the people no care about their needs anymore. It's about want. When you look at a lot of these young girls, they get easily swayed just based on, their wants, not to their need. Because in life, we have needs. The basic human being, all we need is food, clothing, shelter, right? And how we get that food, how we get the clothing, how we get the shelter is to be able to have gainful employment. Or if you're doing business, you do business, right? But in Africa, again, I say again, like when you take Sierra Leone, how many jobs are there for women there? So what we see in our society has gone so low to the low that there are no moral values, no ethics anymore. A lot of these young girls, small picking them, 15, 16, 17, some of them, they are like the breadwinners in their homes already because daddy, they not get job. Mama, they say, not get better tea way to do. So there is nothing coming. So all of a sudden, they get a girl picking who has turned 15, 16, and there is this older gentleman somewhere there. I'm not going to call them gentle because, there's this older dude somewhere who's seeing that and say, okay, this is an opportunity. I'm going to capitalize on this. So they're after these young girls. And look across the governments. These ministers, these ones where they are so answer for girls, all of that nonsense that they do. They are the perpetrators of this crime against these young girls. There's small picking already behind in society. Waiting because homes cannot take care of these kids. Papa them for take care of Pekin. Whose voice Papa get now house? Whose voice Mama get now house? This is all why it's important for us to get involved in our politics. Are you guys seeing what I'm trying to break down to you guys? It's very crucial. It's very important for you guys to see these things because every societal issue that we have today, I want you guys to understand that it stems from corruption. It stems from bad leadership. It stems from the fact that you're not paying attention to your politics. It stems from the fact that you're not holding your leaders accountable. That is what I want you guys to understand. And that is what I want you guys to pay attention to. And this is why when I saw that video, I said, I'm going to talk about that and relate that to what is actually happening. We look at our society today, things are dead, man. Now for a young man to have true love, you can forget money. You were struggling, you're trying to come up. A lot of these girls don't want to forget anything to do with you. Them PK just want everything ready-made. They just want to meet them easy. And this is the problem. And this is why we hear a lot of kidnappings. That is why, human trafficking is on the rise because guys are taking advantage of this. That young Pekin, where, very vulnerable, and get 1 million, 2 million, all of a sudden, they don't build this connection with this young girl. And what happens next? They kidnap them, sell them off as sex slaves, tell them, promise them opportunities overseas, take them to Dubai or Kuwait or Oman and all these countries, use them as sex slaves. Why? Because as society, the leaders, the politicians, that should have created an enabling environment for people to thrive and citizens to thrive, they've stolen the money. They get all the money. So once you don't quiet, then they sign all kind of bad deal like the country. Then they sign all the mining deals them. They're signing away our marine resources. When they sell and get in Chinese, the Chinese they can't take everything we have in our water. So this is the problem that we have. And this is why I say again, when you look at all of these issues, I want you to paint it with a political lens. And until every one of us start doing that, we're not going anywhere. Anytime we see anything go wrong, paint it with political lens. We all forget a mind change, right? Forget a mindset where we say, you know what? We're going to look at things from this angle, from this point on. That is why I say to you, when I saw that video, it's very disturbing. But I feel sorry for my young brothers then. I feel sorry for our kids then. I feel sorry for the 18-year-old young man today. I feel sorry for the 19, for the 20-year-old young man, the 21-year-old young man who's trying to make a way out. We don't get money yet. When they try to think about business, who's trying to think about opportunities, how to make a living for themselves. I see there's a trend, especially on social media. that is creating a lot of opportunities. When you look at what is happening in Nigeria as an example, young men are into social media, creating content, skits, be original. Is that the only thing everybody should do? But it's a trend right now for a lot of young men. When I watch what's in Nigerians they do. Yes, Nigerians have over 200 million people population, right? Sierra Leone get about 7 plus, million people. And when you look at that 7 million plus people in Sierra Leone, how many of them get access to good quality data? Less than 3 million of the people of Sierra Leone really that they get access to good quality data. Even inside Andes, 1 to 1.5 million people waiting at the bigger cities that we get good internet, we get good phone for even able to handle the internet weight that it comes with, right? But the rest of the population, how many of them will subscribe to your YouTube channel? How many of them will subscribe to your Facebook channel, to make money? And this is why I say again, like what I'm doing, right? You see, I want to speak Creole, but I have a responsibility not just to impact Sierra Leonean lives, but to impact the world as a whole. So I want people to be able to come to my channel and be able to understand exactly what I'm saying. So that is why I do what I do. So I speak English. And so I appeal to my brothers. You're a young man. You're trying to make it. You're trying to use social media to influence yourself. Your market should not just be Sierra Leone. Your market should not just be Sierra Leone. Your market target not for be Sierra Leone only. If you do create what you do with your comedy, then you only they get Sierra Leone, and you're not broadening your opportunities to the rest of the world out there. That's what I'll have to say. When you look at Nigerians, even when they do their productions, they do speak their patois, but of course, caption, they do the English at the bottom. And so I've seen Americans watch Nigerian skits like Mr. Macaroni and them, like Brother Shaggy, like Brain Jotta, all of these guys, right? All the comedians, they're big in Nigeria, right? So Sierra Leoneans, I'm saying this to you as well, as a young man coming up, you want to make a living for yourself. I know I kind of segued a little bit there, but those are the things to look into. Broaden up your market, speak English. I know it's difficult, but plan your skit properly to where it appeals to the rest of the world. You want somebody in some other parts of the world to see your skit and be able to listen to it. They come by your Facebook page or come by your YouTube channel, they should be able to listen to it. English is a universal language, no matter what we do. There's nothing we can do about that now. There is no way Mandarin or Russian can be that language. English is the universal language that is known everywhere. So I'm just appealing to you, right? But like I'm saying, for our young sisters, come on, there has to be a better way. I know I've made all the excuses for you guys in this live and all of that stuff, but what is your priority? Why everything, it's all about which one I want. I want you to get into the mindset of thinking about, what are my needs? Which thing I need and which thing I want? Don't be influenced by, because you see this your other party, they wear long hair, they wear fine clothes and this and that. You don't know what they go through just to make that, just to get all that kind of stuff there. Why do you want to subject yourself to, dishonorable acts when tomorrow you get for regret? You're going to regret your actions in the long run because you've given yourself away, to people that did not even deserve you, to touch you and abuse you, misuse you. I mean, some of these girls, I saw another video, was young girls. These girls are not even 25s yet. They're not even 25. And they're asking the other one, how old are you? Say 19. How many men have you slept with? Say 16. I mean, already at 19, you slept with 16 men. Oh my goodness. Where are we going? But again, bad politics, corruption. This is what is left us in Sierra Leone. At least that's what I could say. I'm not going to speak for the rest of the world, because everywhere you go, you're going to have people that's what they want to be. That's what they want to do. But you cannot compare to, Africa. Africa, there is no opportunities. Every money is stolen. No business, no companies, only few employers out there. How many women are actively working and have great jobs in Sierra Leone? How many women? So the rest of mankind, the rest of these girls, young girls, they just get fed with, garbage. So what do? At 18, 19, they have to have 2, 3 boyfriends here and there, because they want to keep up with the Joneses. They want to live this life that they're not part of. They want to have all the nice clothes. They want to have all the nice shoes. They want to have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, so they would do anything just to have that. So I want to appeal to you guys. I want to appeal to you young women. Think about building relationships from the scratch. Think about that. Start building relationship with young men, your age mates. Don't go around sleeping around with all these men just because of your wants. What are your needs? If you can, you get food, you get clothing, you get shelter. I mean, that is all you need. And back on empowering yourself. Think about taking care of yourself so that you can find yourself in a position where you're not dishonorable. Nobody will look you like a prostitute, like a rare gal or along that line. Be proud of yourself in the not too distant future. But this is what society has done to us. This is what corrupt politicians have done to us. So in Sierra Leone today, what do we have? You see, so everything we do, the root cause is corruption. Corruption has destroyed our society. And I want you guys to think about that. The fact that we don't have moral values no more, it is all over the world. But in Africa, pervasively, it is because of corruption. Only a few have access to the wealth of the nations. So what happens? The rest that do not have access to the wealth of the nation, what do? They sell themselves. And that is what is happening to our young girls. You see small picking them, 18, 19, boy. These are so innocent picking them. 19-year-old, 20-year-old picking, man, they're still innocent, 21, innocent. But they've already been washed up and used up like nothing. And I know they're not happy doing these kinds of things. So if you're one of those people, you're listening to this, I want you to ask yourself your question. All these things you're chasing, all this vanity you're chasing, all these shoes, all this phone that you're chasing, what is the essence of a phone anyways? Hello, hi, how are you? Keep in touch with your family. I want you to ask yourself the question, is it worth it in the future? When you turn 40, 50, at that point, nobody wants to marry you anymore. You might have had 4 or 5 kids with different men. What is it worth it? I want you to ask yourself that question. Is it worth it? Is it worth it putting yourself and subjecting yourself to this level of, humiliation that you're going through right now? Because some of you don't even want to be with these guys. You don't even want to be with this old man. I mean, you're only doing it because of, again, you're chasing your wants. What are your needs? Ask yourself the question. But again, I say this, bad politics, corruption is the reason where we are today, especially in Sierra Leone and in Africa. Corruption is the reason why our sisters are, sex slaves, being abused. Human trafficking is on the rise across the world. We see our African sisters getting sold off. I mean, in Italy and all these places in Europe and this and that, men sleep with you for $10 or 10 euros or whatever the case may be. And this is happening again back home, with 16, 17-year-old girls. What is the deal, man? What is the deal? That's all I wanted to talk to you guys about. Corruption is killing us. So I'm going to leave that. But let me touch on the nursing program. By the way, so like I said, one of the nurses is going to go home this Friday, and we'll plan for let him meet with some of you guys. So until they don't receive the email, we've sent you guys the address to the office. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about helping. I've helped a few nurses come now from Sierra Leone, licensed. You have to have a diploma or a BSc or BSN in nursing in Sierra Leone. I can guide you through the process of becoming a registered nurse in America. It's a process, a lot of paperwork, very, hectic. I don't get an office space. I don't get staff, so for you guys that have been to the office, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Once you get to the office, we'll give you the paperwork that you need to fill out so you can take that paperwork to, nursing school and the midwives board so you can have your transcripts sent for evaluation, because that is the first process. We have to evaluate your transcript to make sure it's a registered nurse standard for America. That's the first step. Once that is done, they give us a CES report, say yes, you're good to go. We'll set up an exam for you to take the RN, NCLEX RN exams in America. You're going to come over here, yes. You get a visa from America, fly over here, take the exams. If you pass, we get a placement for you, put you in a job and all of that, okay? So it's tested and proven. I've already done it for, like I said, 3 nurses. So one of them is coming home for a quick break for 2 weeks to go set up the office properly. And while she's there, make sure you guys go and hear from her live and direct, and then we'll take it from there. So again, if you have the financial wherewithal to support yourself, because I'm not going to be sponsoring anybody personally, but if you have what it takes, to sponsor yourself, then go for it. I'm looking at an average for each of those nurses. You would spend between $4,000 to $5,000, $4,000 to about $5,000 with all the fees involved, the visa fees, the transcript fees, the exam fees, of course, your ticket to fly over here, you're going to buy that for yourself, all of that involved, right? But when you get to the office, you'll get more information on the process and how to do it. So if you're a registered nurse in Sierra Leone, you have a diploma in nursing or BSc in nursing, go out and send an email, to Blissful Adventures LLC. Blissful, B as in boy, LISSFUL Adventures like adventures, like you're going on an adventure. So Blissful Adventures LLC at gmail.com. Okay. I'll text it when we're done here so you guys will see it. But go ahead if you want to take part of that. You want to be a beneficiary of that. I would help you. I'm going to guide you guys. I'm just going to guide you through the process now. I'm not promising you everything, but I've tested it. It works. It's proving. So I know it can be done for anybody. So I want to help you guys out. I believe in keeping our finest nurses in Sierra Leone, but hey, these people have a life too. They don't get paid on time. Their lives are miserable. They need better opportunities as well. So the few that could take advantage of that, I'm all for it. I'm willing to help you, and get you through. Okay. So that is the only thing I want to say on that. But I'll put the email on here. If you're a registered nurse in Sierra Leone, I'm going to be helping guys with university applications. I'm going to get to that. If you want to come study, yes, master's or have a first degree, it is possible for you to come study here as well. It is possible for you to study in America as well. Yes, all of that. I go walk out Dandy. I will go for come up with something, and I go talk about that later on. But yeah, for now, I'm just focused on the nurses program to get it started. Once we get that started, we get the ball rolling. I'm willing and happy to help you guys. Okay. So again, remember, you have to have the financial backing. You have to have what it takes to support yourself through that program. Okay. I'm not supporting anybody financially. I'm not doing all of that stuff. I'm just going to guide you through the process, walk you through the process, all the paperwork, all that stuff that is involved. You're going to be involved actively in the process whilst we're doing it. But you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to sponsor yourself. You're going to finance yourself. All right. That's why I have a staff in Sierra Leone. I'm not taking messages personally. Every correspondence has to go through the email address that I'm going to text on this live. I'm going to text that email address on this live. Okay. But I just want to talk to you guys. There's lots of opportunities there. Young ladies, please respect yourselves. Think about your wants, think about your needs, and separate the two. Don't give your young life away foolishly. Take pride in knowing, say, I haven't been with maybe 3 or 5 men before you get married. Because I understand, things happen. Maybe 4 or 5 is excusable. But when you don't reach 10, 15, by the time you're 21, bruh, what's going on? There's this mentality too, I need to take foolish, I need to take nonsense. No. When sometimes in relationships are not meant to be exciting all the time. Relationships not to every day na gladi. But even when things are difficult in the relationship, that is the essence of the relationship. It's how you walk through those problems in the relationship to overcome those problems and be successful. Because there is no relationship that is easy. I've been with my wife for over 23 years. Yes, since we were like in our 20s. So our generation is one of the few. We've been married for, I think, 17, but we've been together almost 23. Our first son is going to be 20 years old. So it's a blessing, it's a blessing. You don't hear that these days. You don't hear them kind about teenage anymore from the young picking them and young guys, especially the young girls. And they be a relationship. So it's painful, man. The world is going places, man. The world is just dangerous. And I said to young men, do what you could to make money at the same time. I don't say become a billionaire or a millionaire, but as long as you can take care of yourselves, your basic needs are met. Learn a trade. As long as if you're not school, you go learn school. Go school. If you're not trade, you learn you trade. Make a living for yourself. You'll be all right. That's all you need. You don't need to have a billion or a million or this and that. If it comes, hey, albeit, well, But these girls, when I left our God, separate your needs from your wants. What do you need and what do you want? Now, ultimately, you compare where you say for where. I want you to think about that because they're wearing Brazilian. You have to wear Brazilian. Yeah, all that fake here. Beaucoup makeup. I'm a fan against all that stuff. When I ask me where you go tell her, I don't like nonsense makeup too much and all that stuff. No, I believe in, a woman just be clean and decent. I swear to God, a lot of men, that's all they're looking for. Just be clean and be decent. Man, beaucoup man no want beaucoup makeup and this and that. No, be clean, you're decent, you're well mannered. That's all that matters to a lot of men. Believe it or not. Or they go all the extra ways for please with that. Extra makeup and this and that. Yes, man ain't go sleep with you because you look gorgeous at the moment with all the makeup and this and that. Yeah, they want to sleep with you. Oh, yeah, you get fine body and this and that. They want to be with you. But when it boils down to it, are you a material? That's the fundamental question you have to ask yourself. Are you a wifey material? That's very crucial and that's important to know. And those are the things we talk about. So these are the fundamental issues. So regardless of what it is, I want you guys to think about that, okay? Young girls, there's no excuse for letting you sleep with Amos Monday. I hope this message will bless somebody today. Stop that nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. There is no excuse. Yeah? Find something to do. Be productive for yourself. Homes are getting destroyed. Papa did not get respect na home. Mama did not get respect na home. Mama and self then depend the foolishness. You know, because waiting, Papa not for brinker. They say get 2-3 boyfriend in house. I mean, it's a curse. But again, waiting to bad politicians. That is why we have to stand up and speak up against bad politicians and corruption and thievery. Africa is going to be better. Social media is going to change that. But anyways, I'm going to leave it right here, guys. Take care of yourselves. I love you guys, all right? Bye-bye, everybody. All right.